Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
The Red Cross emblem. The unauthorized use of the Red Cross emblem in the Gambia is illegal and punishable by law. Did you know that in the Gambia, only the Gambia Red Cross Society and the medical services of the Gambia Armed Forces with specific restrictions are allowed to use the Red Cross emblem? Did you know that the use of the Red Cross emblem by commercial entities such as hospitals, pharmacies, health posts, private and public properties is also considered as misuse of the emblem? That its misuse could threaten Red Cross missions and put humanitarian workers at risk? The emblem is fully protected by the international humanitarian law and the laws of the Gambia, and its misuse by any other party leads to its violation, which is sanctioned with penalties. The Gambia Red Cross utilized the emblem to signify our promise, neutrality and impartiality, to provide assistance to all people in need regardless of race, color, belief, religion or political affiliation. It serves as a symbol of protection and assistance for the Red Cross teams, while to those we serve, it is a symbol of hope. Let's know, respect, and protect the Red Cross emblem.
South Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called TAF Twins. The TAF Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
Yunus English School. For quality and affordable education, look no further. Yunus English School has what you've been looking for. Yunus English School is a leading institution in the Gambia with nursery, lower basic, upper basic and senior secondary education with magnificent teaching and learning facilities. Yunus English School has highly qualified and experienced teaching staff preparing students for university and beyond. Yunus English School is an institution with distinct academic excellence, and the school operates not only in the usual 5 days a week but 6 days a week, Mondays to Saturdays, breaking a remarkable record on credit hour coverage for all our students. Contact Yunus English School today to register your children on 77814443 or 7070091 or still on 9249426. Better still, you can email yunusenglish@yahoo.com. At Yunus English School, excellence is a priority without compromise.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Dado Cham. In the headlines tonight, NPP penetrates Phoenix amidst pledges of support. Health Ministry WHO holds symposiums on antimicrobial resistance in the Gambia. UNFPA supported Youth Internet Radio Peace and Security Situation Room launched. Ahmadian Youth Wing cleans Kanifing General Hospital. On the international scene, Nigeria conflict uneasy calm in northern East Borno state. Tigerian fighters captured thousands of government soldiers. South Korea reports record COVID cases after easing restrictions. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The NPP-led coalition on Tuesday took its battle for hearts and minds to the Phoenix, which has until last general election remained former President Yahya Jammeh's stronghold. Detail in this report.
On the 4th of December. On the 4th December. Ngalon ko foji ni President Barrow beton la ko kilinde President Barrow ibe quartier fa la President Barrow. La man ngati foji buram ko ko ngar ko mala boli man ko sen hino kayro para fa Barrow. Lata wala le. Le fi mukla. Bare tiñar la dam bu ka jutu wala de. Nana ana manje ka kajana ko. Ani nga continue fa asoli be do ko la jang. Nana fa ansi ko ko buro. Abla ku jabi wol be do ko la. Abla ku jabi ko ko buro. General Lantom Montamba wol be do ko la. General Lantom Montamba ko. Bore ko wol be do ko la. Bore ko bu ko ko buro. Ay saru ci fanga wol be do ko la. Ay saru ci fanga bu ko ko buro. Na regional chairman wol be do ko la. Regional chairman ko ko buro. Alkana sino al continue nga do ko fo quartier continue dum ni. Juma fatu no roka tak mu moria tak mu jinko. Bi men albe do ko men parti o parti man trawo do ko la. Buroka banjomi budget parti am buroka bu. Kala ngajale ni wadol di maman kan dumandi. Kala ni ñu ko kula ko ka jato rak. Yalla ni mobe kelola. Wala ko ya futi kam di mo me yalla ko akamo jatale. Anu manje kurima ko ko sese. Mo me yalla ko niyo faseade. Ana manje kurima ko ko sese. Mo me yalla ko on the 4th of December personally. Ana manje of December pour personally. Ibu ke fo ñode. Kula ko erinde. Oto nga continue nga do ko ke. Continue a buroka.
The Health Ministry, in partnership with the WHO, on Wednesday held a symposium aimed at raising awareness of antimicrobial resistance in the Gambia. The event was attended by various stakeholders in the health sector. Modu Baji reports.
Antimicrobial resistance occurs when microorganisms resist the action of medications which are meant to eradicate them. The WHO country representative to the Gambia, Dr. Desta A. Teroni, said the UN General Assembly convened a high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance with the participation of members, high-level governmental organizations, civil societies, the private sector, and academic institutions. He added that the primary objective of the meeting was to summon and maintain strong national, regional, and international political commitment in addressing antimicrobial resistance comprehensively and multi-sector to increase awareness of antimicrobials.
Spreading awareness among the general public so that they know and they don't demand to be treated with antibiotics. Because many people have perception that if you are given antibiotics, your condition is treated better. And among the health workers also, there is a doubt. When they are not sure, they will give antibiotics. Even if you have a viral infection. The common one is like respiratory tract infections, which are common particularly in winter. So almost every case with respiratory tract infection is treated with antibiotics, which is actually aggravating the problem of antimicrobial resistance. So on this day, we call One Health stakeholders, policymakers, healthcare providers, and the general public to be antimicrobial awareness champions to know what is at stake and then take responsible actions in their own, by their own individually. Because what each of us do will contribute to the bigger, problem. If we are not doing it right, then we will actually exacerbate the problem. If we help to stop that problem, then we'll also have less and less of that problem. Governments, partners, and private sector can work together by investing in water and sanitation and hygiene infrastructure, which actually also promotes infection, and as a result, more people getting treated with antibiotics.
The Director of Health Services, Mustafa Bite, described the event as crucial, noting that it is important to reduce the duration people spend in hospitals as a result of cost of antibiotics.
And we are very honored to be here today. We were in the initial workshop to review the assessment that were done and to see the outcomes of those research and the recommendations. We are happy that we have a bigger group to look at this and see how we can solve this menace. We all know that antimicrobial resistance box is a big problem for all of us regarding the cost, the hospital stay, and all this. So for us in the health services, it's very important that we reduce the time the people stay in the hospital. We reduce the time, the amount of resources we spend on antibiotics and others. So this is a very important thing, and it's an existential issue for the human race, because very soon we are limited in the number of antibiotics we can produce per year or per decade. So on that note, we are very, very happy to welcome all of you here, and we look forward to a very important and impactful deliberation. We want everyone to participate, and as usual, what we've seen in the beginning has been really great, and we hope that we can continue that to this level.
Antimicrobial resistance is an emerging global threat in both developing and developed countries. Presently, antimicrobial resistance infections cause over 7,000 deaths globally and are estimated to account for 10 million deaths by 2050 if no action is taken. For Star TV, I am Mojo Elbaji.
A youth peace and security situation room and youth internet radio were on Tuesday inaugurated at the National Youth Council's Canifin office. The project is funded under the auspices of the UN Peace Building. In the framework of the project, the young women and men are stakeholders in ensuring peaceful democratic processes and advocates for the prevention of violence and hate speeches. Hadi M. Jaji reports.
The idea is to provide young people an avenue to have conversations and contribute towards political leadership discourse in the context of the general election while tackling disinformation and hate speech. The initiative is supported by UNFPA. The Situation Room is a multi-stakeholder mechanism for the mitigation of disinformation and potential threats to peace, while the youth-led national internet radio station is to serve as a strong tool to amplify the voices of young people in maintaining peace, social cohesion, and building resilience against violence, including hate speech. The UNFPA country representative, Mr. Kunle Adeni, said the setting up of the youth-led internet radio and the Peace and Security Early Warning Crisis Center is indeed timely, especially as the country edges closer to the electoral period.
In the last few weeks, you would have heard, if you would listen to radio and online platforms, unwholesome conversations of people, intolerance, sometimes accompany electoral processes. Speeches that could be termed as hate speech are also rife in our polity. These are issues that could threaten the peace and stability of a country if not properly addressed or managed. This is one of the reasons why we have invested time and effort in setting up a youth radio to serve as a strong tool in amplifying the voices of young people to maintain peace and social cohesion in the Gambia.
Mr. Adenik described the initiative as laudable, saying it will go a long way in amplifying the voices of the young people by enhancing positive messaging and strengthening social cohesion and promoting the overall maintenance of peace in community. Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Musa Mbai, said the launch of the project marked yet another significant milestone in the history of the National Youth Council. He added that the project is a genuine partnership in line with the Youth Ministry's policies and development objectives.
I'm here representing the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Bakari Y. Baji, who, due to other very pressing national engagements, could not make it physically, and therefore asked me to come in and step in on his behalf to read the launching statement on his behalf. And I read, today marks yet another milestone in the history books of the National Youth Council. This day is very important one for government and the entire youth community. The launching of a situation room and an online radio by the National Youth Council within a framework of a genuine partnership is indeed in line with the ministry's policy development objectives. It will no doubt engender numerous developments in upholding strongly our shared values and common objectives.
Mbai explained that the Situation Room, an online internet radio, will serve as one-stop information center for security alerts across the country and will cover both situation report and incidents report.
Peace, security, and stability is the foundation of any democracy and development in a society. Therefore, the launching of the Youth Peace Security Situation Room and the online radio is indeed timely. This cannot come at any time other than now, as we have security challenges within our communities, be it the homes, the schools, the workplace, even in our social media platforms. In ensuring, therefore, that all security alerts are monitored across the country, UNFPA support the establishment of the first ever Youth Peace Security Room and online radio, which will be managed by young people, and specifically regional monitors, to ensure timely and adequate information on security alerts and challenges that are reported and acted upon.
Executive Director of the National Youth Council, Alaji Jaju, said the council has immensely benefited from the support provided by the UNFPA in terms of human resources. He thanked all their partners for the realization of the project. National Youth Council's regional monitor, Lamin BCC, in delivering the vote of thanks, said the Situation Room will ensure young people are able to use the platform wisely, share information, and also give timely and adequate reports when it comes to security challenges. Guests were meanwhile taken around the radio, and there were display of the dashboard and the online radio. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Hadi M. Jaju.
The youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in the Gambia, Majalis Gundamun Ahmadiyya, on Saturday embarked on a massive cleansing exercise at the Kanifing General Hospital. The cleansing exercise was part of the many interventions that the Majalis Gundamun Ahmadiyya conducts around the country. Detail in this report by Jacqueline Colley.
Scores of young people from the youth wing of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in the Gambia last Saturday turned out for the exercise that saw participants set on the task of reading one of the country's largest health facility of grasses and waste materials. The president of Ahmadiyya Youth Wing, Aliu Tarawale, stated that the desire to give back to the country was the motivation of the exercise.
As we all know, Selkurna General Hospital is the biggest hospital in the Kanifing municipality, and it renders great service to the people of this area. That's why Majlis Qudamul Ahmadiyya, the male youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Jamaat, deemed it necessary to also come and render service to this institution, because health, as we all know, is a very important component of life. Cleanliness, as it is always said, is next to godliness. If the environment is clean, if this hospital is clean, the peasants here
the hospital staff, and all those who will be coming here will feel happy. Their heart will feel comfortable and their minds will be free. And Majlis Qudamul Ahmadiyya, we take pride in such kind of activities because this is part of our religious obligation. And as Muslims, we have been commanded to serve our community, to serve humanity, and to serve the country at large.
The secretary responsible for the exercise, Demba Ba, said Ahmadiyya youths derive satisfaction from rendering service to the country.
That to be servants of this nation, as our second Khalifa, the head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Hadrat Mirza Bashir Din Mahmud Ahmad, told us that a nation cannot be reformed without the reformation of its youths. So the youths need to step forward so that they carry on something. They come forward and then try to execute their duties as it should be. What motivated us to come to Kanifing General Hospital or Serekunda General Hospital, it is that, it is a center which is for everybody, it's for all Gambians. So we see it that we are also part of it, we are part of this hospital. So it's better we come together and then make some cleaning exercise. That's what we can contribute to develop our nation. Because the Holy Prophet ﷺ also told us that cleanliness is part of faith. So therefore we take that pride to be part of those people who are always trying to clean up our environment, particularly in places like hospitals and then some other, government or non-government places where we have public places. It is very, very important to take part in the service of a nation.
The nursing officer in charge of the duty room on Saturday, Aja Sise, expressed the conviction that the exercise would reinforce in a mutually complementary manner the hospital's efforts in ensuring cleanliness at the facility.
I think this cleansing exercise is very important and it's very timely because we are in the malaria season and that dirty environment is the harbor for mosquitoes. So I think it's very timely and it also creates a conducive environment for the staff to work to the best of their abilities, and it can also prevent nosocomial infections. Nosocomial infections are infections that patients carry from the hospital. I think the cleansing exercise, if the environment is very clean, it will help to prevent or reduce the rate of nosocomial infections, like patients coming to the hospital and carry infections from the hospital to their home. I think it will also help in that aspect. And also, a conducive environment is a very nice environment to stay in. It will make work easy for everybody, and the patients will also enjoy their stay in the hospital.
Jacqueline Colley for Star TV News.
Those were the local stories. We will be back with the international news after this short break.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulunding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
The Red Cross emblem. The unauthorized use of the Red Cross emblem in the Gambia is illegal and punishable by law. Did you know that in the Gambia, only the Gambia Red Cross Society and the medical services of the Gambia Armed Forces with specific restrictions are allowed to use the Red Cross emblem? Did you know that the use of the Red Cross emblem by commercial entities such as hospitals, pharmacies, health posts, private and public properties is also considered as misuse of the emblem? that its misuse could threaten Red Cross missions and put humanitarian workers at risk? The emblem is fully protected by the international humanitarian law and the laws of the Gambia, and its misuse by any other party leads to its violation, which is sanctioned with penalties. The Gambia Red Cross utilized the emblem to signify our promise, neutrality and impartiality, to provide assistance to all people in need regardless of race, color, belief, religion or political affiliation. It serves as a symbol of protection and assistance for the Red Cross teams, while to those we serve, it is a symbol of hope. Let's know, respect and protect the Red Cross emblem.
South Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called TAF Twins. The TAF Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
Welcome back after that commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is Star TV News from our studio here in Serekunda. And now the international news. After 12 years of conflict in Nigeria's born rebuilding and reconstruction projects are beginning to start up again in the northeast state. The conflict with the Boko Haram armed group has killed more than 300,000 people and displaced millions. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris report from Madrid, Nigeria.
Adin Muhammad was once a successful farmer and trader, but has been living like this for more than a decade. This makeshift structure is where he's trying to raise a new family after Boko Haram violence uprooted his life. He says his chain of businesses, houses and farms all perished in a single attack in 2010.
I had more houses, more farms, more shops and warehouses in Kayamala than everyone else. Look at me now. I can't even fend for myself. Even the room I live in was given to me rent-free by a former business partner. But with peace returning, I look forward to going back to rebuild.
The Boko Haram conflict in northeastern Nigeria has displaced more than 2.5 million people, forcing them into camps. Now, the government wants to shut down these camps by the end of this year as reconstruction gathers momentum. This small pile of rubble is what is left of the former school and home of Muhammad Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram. This is why the group's ideology was nurtured. Nigerian security forces demolished the structures shortly after the rebellion was put down in 2009. But the movement grew even bigger and continues to kill people and destroy property in northern Nigeria. An estimated 300,000 people have been killed. $6 billion worth of property and facilities lie in ruins in Borno State alone.
People have completely lost their means of livelihood. Many of our educational facilities were destroyed. About 5,000 classrooms were destroyed. About 250 health centers were destroyed. About 800 municipal buildings were destroyed, comprising of traditional rulers, homes, police station, local government secretariats, among others.
As thousands return to their old villages, this is what they find. New houses are coming up in communities while 900,000 homes were destroyed. In a direct challenge to Boko Haram, whose ideology is against Western education and values, hundreds of schools razed down by the armed group are being rebuilt, and more students are enrolling.
Over 60% of our budget, of our capital budget, goes to reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement. And in terms of value of money that has been spent, the amount is so scaring. Between the Nigerian Army, the civilian JTF, hunters, the police, the Borno State government, for the last 10 years, procured nothing fewer than about 2,000 vehicles.
Thousands of kilometers of roads that have been bombed during fighting between security forces and Boko Haram are being fixed. Here at Maiduguri's biggest market, traders load up goods to neighboring Cameroon, Chad, and Niger as security improves. Farmers who couldn't access their lands have returned to their farms after a decade of disruptions. Even hospitals that were not spared by the armed group are back offering services to the sick and wounded. But with Boko Haram still posing a significant security threat, the restoration effort could still go wrong, a reality that hundreds of thousands of victims hope will be avoided. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Maiduguri, Northeast Nigeria.
The President of Kenya and South Africa have called for a ceasefire in Ethiopia. It comes as footages has emerged on thousands of federal troops being held as prisoners of war by Tigray fighters. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, a former soldier, has called on the country's citizens to take up arms and join him on the battlefield against the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Al Jazeera's Victoria Gatimba reports.
Some of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's soldiers are now prisoners of war, and the Tigrayans have been parading them before the cameras. The presidents of Kenya and South Africa say all parties must commit to ending the violence.
We expressed our conviction that there is scope for dialogue amongst the warring parties in Ethiopia, and that there is an urgent need for all parties to the conflict to commit to an immediate, indefinite, and a negotiated ceasefire and an all-inclusive political dialogue.
As the war draws closer to the Ethiopian capital, plans to defend Addis Ababa are intensifying. These women have joined a neighbourhood protection force to guard against advancing rebel forces. They've set up roadblocks, are searching vehicles for weapons, and are checking people's documents.
We women believe that random security checks on passers-by are very important. We also encourage others to do the same, because when we do this, we have no doubt that strangers will be caught.
Abiy has informed the nation that he's going to the front line where he'll personally lead the army, and he's asked Ethiopians to join him in what he calls the battle to save the nation. The US is calling the military escalation alarming and says it threatens any diplomatic progress between the government and Tigrayan forces.
Addis is under great threat, and it also means that there's likely to be considerably more suffering, and people should leave now to avoid the worst possible scenario, which could be rebel forces entering Addis, or starvation, or deprivation.
Germany and France have joined the US in urging their citizens to leave Ethiopia, while the UN says it's temporarily relocating the families of its staff. Meanwhile, more than 2 million Ethiopians have now fled their homes, with reports of human rights abuses on both sides, and 7 million people are in need of food aid. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
South Korea is reporting record highs in the number of new COVID-19 cases and critical ill patients after easing restrictions and movements earlier this month. Nearly 80% of a population has received anti-coronavirus inoculations. Health officials say that may be due to waning immunity among those who receive the jab and are considering reimposing social movement corps. Al Jazeera's Flores Lud reports.
The South Korean government eased COVID-19 restrictions less than a month ago. But on Wednesday, officials say they may consider reimposing some rules. The number of new cases and seriously ill patients is rising across the country. Daily infections reached a record 4,100 on Tuesday, and nearly 70% of beds in intensive care units are now occupied.
A major factor that has contributed to the increasing number of cases and that has made the hospital bed utilization rate a bit worse is the increasing number of infections in the elderly.
Senior citizens were the first to be inoculated earlier this year, and health officials say part of the reason infections are rising is because their immunity is waning. The government says it will give them booster shots.
What the government is trying to do at this point is to expand the deployment of booster shots, especially among the most vulnerable, as quickly as possible. They're increasing testing, especially in congregate residential settings, such as nursing homes and long-term care facilities.
Officials are also conducting test and trace operations after more than 200 people tested positive for COVID-19 at a church in the city of Cheonan.
In the morning, the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure Headquarters reported that around 91.4% of the confirmed cases from Cheonan were unvaccinated.
The increase in infections so soon after restrictions were lifted will be a blow to many. But although the number's rising, there's some relief that at about 35 a day, the number of deaths remains relatively low. Florence Louis, Al Jazeera.
And before we end the news, a recap of our main headlines. NPP penetrates 4 news amidst pledges of support. Health Ministry WHO holds symposiums on antimicrobial resistance in the Gambia. UNFPA supported Youth Internet Radio Peace and Security Situation Room launched. Ahmadiyyan Youth Wing cleans Kanifing General Hospital. On the international scene, Nigeria conflict uneasy calm in northern East Borno state. Tigerian fighters captured thousands of government soldiers. South Korea reports record COVID cases after easing restrictions. That's all for this edition of the news. Thank you for watching and join us for tomorrow's news.